Hey friends, it's Sharika and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to me sharing my journey through all of my finances, all of the ups and downs of just budgeting and paying off my little bit of debt that's left and just trying to stick to a budget so that I can accomplish some financial goals. And so today, what we are going to be doing is closing out my January YNAB budget. It is February already, and there are a couple things that I like to do in January just to make sure my YNAB budget is clean for February. All right, so join me. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is, first of all, I'm in my master budget. And so I have several budgets in YNAB. I have my master budget, I have my sinking funds budget, which is a separate account, and then I have my business budget for my sister lock income and expenses. And so the first one I'm going to work through is the master budget. So as you see, it's already February, but I'm going to go back to January just to make sure that I close things out and everything is clean for this new month. So as you see here in January, I have one overspend category. The first thing I want to do is just make sure that I cover any overspending. So the overspent category is in miscellaneous, and I will tell you, I already know what that is. I thought I forgot my makeup on the cruise. I did a horrible job unpacking and I just misplaced my makeup. So I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I ended up going to Sephora. No, I went to Ulta and bought a couple of things, and the ladies know makeup ain't cheap. So it was literally 5 things, and those 5 things were close to $130. But I just popped that in miscellaneous because it was something that I figured I was going to cover with my sister lock income. I don't think I'm going to do that. So let's see where I have money and we'll just cover this. If you look under money available, I've got money in several different places. I've got money in celebrations. I don't want to use that because I know my daughter's birthday is next month and I'm going to need some of that money to celebrate. Or it's this month. I have got money in hand dancing, but I need to pay that in February, so don't want to use that. I've got some extra money in Ideal Image. I made the minimum payment and I want to pay extra, but I also don't want to have to take money from my sister lock income. So I think I will probably use this 102.59 to pay that overspend category. Let's see, how much was I overspent? 105.91. So yeah, I'll take from there. So let's just move this 102.59 to miscellaneous. So I won't be making any extra payments to my Ideal Image, but I'm okay with that. I've got time. It's 0 interest right now. So let's see, I need 332. Let's cover this with what do I have? Hand dancing. I have some extra money in Netflix. So Netflix is really cheaper, but I always estimate up, and I estimated $17, but I've got an extra $358. So let's cover that. 332 with that 338. Now I have no overspending, which is the goal. The next step that I take when just cleaning up the previous month is I like to just check to see where the money is available, and if I don't need it in that category, especially in these fixed bills, if I don't need the money in that category, I will move it somewhere else. So, for instance, like I said, I'm not touching celebrations. The hand dance money, I'm going to just let that roll over to next month because I have to pay it for next month. Netflix, I have 26 cents available. I'm just going to move this up to ready to assign because I don't need that. I've already funded February's bills. Fubo is really $91.14, but I budget $92, so we can move that up. Massage Envy, I have $88 in here. I'm just going to let that roll over. Also, yeah, I'm just going to let that roll over. Self-care. that should stay funded. In beauty, I have $29.89 left over. I am going to move that to ready to assign. Luckily, the end of the month fell on a Wednesday. I get paid this weekend, and I will have money in my budget for that to get my nails done. The buffer, again, I get paid this weekend. I don't plan on going anywhere until then, so let's just move this to ready to assign. Enjoy life. I'm going to just keep this there because I always want to make sure that I do budget for enjoy life. I have a meeting at my house for one of my teams at church on Friday, and I plan to provide dinner. And so I'm just going to keep that $85 there in order to buy dinner for my team. Food, I'm going to keep that there to just probably combine with that $85 just to make sure I don't go over budget. So that's going to just roll over. Gasoline, I literally just filled my tank. I don't need this. And medical, I'm just going to keep the $78.50 there. Even though I really don't need it anytime right now, it's the beginning of the year. I still have flexible spending account money. And then when I spend it, I just put in a claim to repay it back. So, for now, it's not harming anybody. I'll just let it roll over. Okay, so I think I'm happy with my January. The next thing I want to do is make sure that I have reconciled all of my accounts. And so let me just move my picture over. I ended up deciding to link all of my accounts, which is making my life so much easier. I still believe that there is a lot of benefit to entering your transactions manually if you are just starting out budgeting, but I've been doing this for a minute. I've been moving and shaking, and this it was definitely a lifesaver linking the accounts. And so let's just go in here and reconcile. It looks like everything is the same, so yay to that. Let's go to the Costco account. Everything looks good. And then to Chase, again, everything looks good. So I am all reconciled there, and I am happy. Let's go back to the budget with the way January looks, and then I can move over to February. I've got $99.95 ready to assign. I can pop that in some areas to budget for. I know for a fact I was under budget when it came to BG&E, which is my gas and electric, and I'm going to put the remainder. I need $74.07 to just catch up to where I need to be, so I will put that there. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else I want to do. And I need some money to cover these subscriptions, and I'm just going to add the remainder $25.88 there. The ideal image will, when I get paid this weekend, the other $79 will be added, and then I will have enough for the minimum there, so I'm not too worried about that. So I am happy where everything is, and then after I'm done recording this video, I'm just going to make these payments to these cards. I just pay the full amount since I have the money in there. I'll just pay the current balance on them, and then I'll be done with the month for my master budget. Then the next thing I do is I'll go to my sinking funds budget. Nothing is ever budget in this account. I just check everything just to verify. I just like to take a look to see what my goals are. I'm underfunded by $4,617.83. Definitely won't be funding that at all of that this month. But I know, remember, I get $400 coming into this account every paycheck, and some of that will be covering some of these items. At some point, I probably may move some money from my business account if I really need to, but nothing's really popping this month. The things that I need this month is for the Costco membership, which is completely funded, and the tax preparation, which is completely funded. And as you see, I've already gotten some business taxes done already, so that has been paid, but I do have money for the rest of that. By the end of this month, I will definitely try to move some money from one of my businesses over here to make sure that the March sinking fund is taken care of. So again, in here, I'll just tap in here, making sure we are all reconciled and we look good. Lastly, I'm going to go over to my sister lock budget. This is where I manage all of the income and expenses for me doing sister locks. I don't have a lot of clients. At one point last year, I had tons of clients, and it was just too overwhelming for my body and just my lifestyle. I was just doing hair all the time. I have cut back significantly, and I'm also not using this money as much. And so at the end of the month, the goal is to just pop into this account, assign all of my numbers, and then see what I'm working with for everything else. So as you see, I have already entered in all of the transactions in here. This is actually linked, and this month I have brought in $992.87. That is after any square fees and all of that other stuff. The way I do my budget for Sister Locks is I use the First Profit First book, and he talks about adding things into various categories and percentage just to make sure that you're getting some profit out of this. I don't have many expenses for Sister Locks. I did have a phone at one time. I had a website. I don't have any of that anymore since I cut back. So I'll just put all this money here, and then we're just going to allocate this to where it needs to go. So the first category that I'm going to allocate money to is the giving. Giving, tithing, and offering is always first thing. And then I'm going to put $99.28 in that category. And so I have it on my phone because I want to always make sure I'm using that original amount, the $992.87. So next we're going to cover the expenses. So 5% of that $992 is $49.64. Then I will do the taxes. So 25% for taxes, I'm going to pop to $48.21. Then the remainder is my profit, so which is the $595.74. Anytime I need to fund this Maryland fee, I haven't paid it yet, and when I do, then I will fund for it with this 25%. Since this is my only expense, no, with this 5%, the 157.24. So usually once this expenses category gets to 300, I just move it to Maryland fee, and then I won't be putting any money away into expenses. Well, no, I do, obviously for cleaning supplies. I do, one of my bedrooms is a salon, but cleaning supplies are but so much money. And honestly, I buy cleaning supplies for my house, and so honestly just kind of carry that over. But some of them I can use with the expenses category here. With that said, that is where all the money goes. Usually it takes, I don't immediately pay these tithes, but it will just sit here until I actually physically pay them. Then I'm going to go make sure, scoochie over here and reconcile. Everything looks good. YNAB matches my actual bank balance. Yay. And then back to the budget. So that is all I really do to close out my budget. I am happy with where things are at. My business budget is reconciled, and I have money in all the categories. At the end of January, here in my sinking fund, you see majority of the things are funded and caught up, and that's really all I'm looking for. I really do think I'm going to be using that Sister Lock money to cover this personal training, but I'll get there when I get there. I don't think I need to pay it until mid-March. But I'm happy where my budget is. And so that's all I do to just close out my YNAB budget at the end of the month, and just to make sure that I'm good to go starting in the next month. So if you have any questions about how I use YNAB, or would like me to get into detail about how I use certain categories, definitely let me know in the comment box. How do you close out your month if you use YNAB? Let me know. Definitely looking forward to hearing. I love watching YNAB videos and I love seeing how different people use YNAB. And honestly, that is how I learned to master this software. As I've said before, it's amazing, and this is one of the reasons why I'm able to do what I do financially, the way I'm able to travel and buy the things that I need to do, and I'm able to balance fun and paying off budget at the same time. This right here just works for me. So I always say give it a try. I have a link, a referral link down in the description box if you would like. But if not, thank you guys for joining me, and you guys have a great day.